I said, who would be crazy enough to build their house on top of a blood sacrifice altar? He said, well, Rockefeller was. I just like, okay, can we go there? And he said, yeah, it's just a short walk. Come on. And we've actually, I'd already walked by it. So he said, I've got the keys. He said, normally nobody can go in. The way these things are set up, they're historical homes now. The state of Georgia owns the park. They lease it out to another group, the hotel, to run. But the houses are maintained on the National Historical Register, and they're part of the state park. So you can't go in any of them without a guided tour or permission, but you can go look in the windows and walk on the porches and walk all around them. And they're set up inside just like they were when they were actually being used back in the 20s and earlier. So we go over there, and he's got the keys, though. So we go into the house, and he takes me into the parlor. And he says, well, I know you're a praying guy, so you probably would like to have a little time to pray. He said, you're standing right on top of the altar right now. This is the room that is built on top of it. He said, I'm just going to go over here and sit down for a few minutes and read the newspaper, and I'll let you pray and do whatever you need to do. The room that they were sitting in when they drew up the entire legislation and plan to pass it that became the Federal Reserve Act. So this was the conception of the Federal Reserve banking system on the parlor, sitting on top of a blood sacrifice altar.
Where babies were sacrificed.
Yes. And so all of a sudden it's like, wow, no wonder our banking system has so much corruption in it, even when people want to do the right thing. The idea that it was conceived like this, I'm going, this is not just a bunch of wealthy guys that got away for a vacation and came up with a profitable business plan. This has got something diabolical, something occultic about it, something evil that's wrapped up with it.
Yeah.
And so even if it had been a good idea and something beneficial for the country, which many would argue that it was, this demonic power must have gotten into it. That's what happens when an altar is not dealt with. That's what happens when God's people do not do spiritual warfare the way he tells us to. Then we all become subject to it, because they didn't just create a bank. They created a banking system that every one of us have become subject to. So think about this. You've got money that you receive as a ministry, or that when you earn, I'm sure you tithe and give offerings. On your money is idolatry. It's printed right on your money.
Canaanite altars on Jekyll Island, human sacrifice, and giants. These are the reasons why I traveled to Jekyll Island. I wanted to see if these things were real or if this was just a story. Unfortunately, my time at Jekyll Island was met with a lot of closed doors. All the footage you've seen and that you're seeing now, I took, and I was able to get access inside of Indian Mound. However, I was not able to corroborate any of the stuff he was saying because nobody wanted to talk. Everybody I asked about this had no idea what I was talking about. So, I guess this investigation remains inconclusive. Did J.P. Morgan and the Rockefellers actually come up with the idea for the Federal Reserve while sitting on top of a sacrificial altar? Who knows? But if true, it would make a lot of sense.